What's going on, everyone? This is Encore, and this is your daily reminder that tomorrow never comes, meaning none of our tomorrows are guaranteed. So let's get after it today as opposed to waiting for some unknown date in the future, which may never come around. For me in this channel, that's all about crypto and anything crypto related. So today's video, I want to kind of get into an article I came across. I was looking at some other things and just really kind of happened to fall into this article, and it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Don't worry, there's not going to be any rants. I'm not hating on anybody in this, but just what I wanted to highlight in this entire from this entire article is you guys are going to read a lot of this kind of stuff, unfortunately. Right, and you're gonna read, whether the journalists or whoever may be writing these articles or the content that you read, whether they have another agenda, whether they've actually dug into the crypto space or not, you're gonna come across this kind of stuff. And maybe they have, and maybe this is their take on it. I just find it hard to believe that someone who's put any time into researching things in the crypto space at any level that would create an unbiased opinion, I would find it hard to write something that I'm going to show you guys today. So let's just jump into it. I just want to kind of go through it, and you guys can kind of hear my thoughts about it. And again, I always say do your own research, regardless of whether you're pro or against crypto or anything else. Always do your own research before you formulate such a strong opinion. All right, that's all I gotta say. Let's jump into this video here. So, hold on. Let's see where we are. Okay, so this is from the Washington Post. All right, and I just searched crypto on here because there wasn't a section for it. It wasn't in the financials or anything like that. Just to see what kind of articles they did have. And I know you guys are probably like, well, I mean, how can you get anything even just from a headline, right, or a subtitle? What kind of tone can be set from that? I mean, it's about not so much clickbait. I mean, that definitely does go on, but the whole point of any article is you want someone to read it, right? And it's a window into what the article is going to be about. Sometimes it's over sensationalized, sometimes it's not. But regardless, your opinion is pretty highlighted by the title and the subtitle, depending on whether you're being sarcastic or serious throughout the article itself. So this particular one, she is completely serious throughout the whole thing. The tone does not change, the attitude does not change in respect to what crypto's, what it is, and what it is, and what does it mean to people, and and what does it mean to people who take part in it? So for this case here, it's about the celebs have gone crypto. That's the title here, and that one, yeah, good or bad, don't really know. I mean, that's just a headline. Truthfully, when someone says celebs and says anything else that they've jumped into, it's kind of pitting you against the masses already, celebrities versus the average folk. But I mean, again, that could be completely neutral, but reading the rest of the article, you can come back to that. It's her subtitle here that really gets me. Matt Damon, Tom Brady, Paris Hilton, and other celebs are peddling NFTs and cryptocurrency. Of course they are. So word choice, I mean, these guys they're obviously seasoned and, veterans of the space, veterans of wordplay, veterans of, obviously of writing, and they know what to write, they know how to write it, and they know how to support what they're writing for the most part. So just by using the words peddling and saying of course they are, I mean, you've already got a negative spin on that. That is not a neutral comment, right? When you're peddling something, you're selling something to somebody else, you're trying to put one over on somebody else, and then you kind of link that to celebrities versus the average Joe. Not a good outlook. Not a good outlook for this article. So let's jump into it though. Let's kind of really see what's going on here. So let's try and get rid of some of these ads. Okay. So let's see here. Stars are just like us if we too wax poetic about expensive cartoon apes. All right. Again, this is already formulating a divide here between celebrities and us, which is fine. I mean, there are obvious differences, no doubt, no doubt. And the same way that you look to celebrities, as being a divide between between a certain category of people versus the masses. You can put journalists in the same regard. You can put any profession in the same regard. Someone who carries this type of weight, who's writing this article, who has the authority in the space, who has a platform, that's not the average Joe either. So they also, are waxing poetic about something. And in this case, it's really to pit celebrities versus the average Joe. And let's be real, yeah, I mean, that does happen. Oftentimes we don't think of celebrities as us. That's fine. But just because they're celebrities, it shouldn't undermine the value of the fundamentals of what's being talked about, right? In of itself. So let's get into it. Let's go on for a little bit further. That's really just a start here. So this is a Washington Post article by Sonia Rao. I don't know her. I've never read anything. Any other things that she's written. Literally, I just saw this article and I just had to comment on it. So this is not a hate article. This is not attacking anybody at all. I'm attacking the content and the way that it's written, and so I kind of want to point those things out. Okay, so let's go. So going about Gwyneth Paltrow, she's now promoting digital artwork of a blinking cartoon ape. So, I mean, just subtitle and the headline, it's a negative tone. But now you're getting into like a condescending tone, when you talk about blinking cartoon apes, which, yeah, absolutely, an NFT will have certain aspects of that, and hers in particular will. I just not getting a good feel for the article right off the bat, right? She went on to say Reese Witherspoon recently took a break from chatting about a book club and production company to share an ominous prophecy. All right, doom and gloom. This is what these guys sell. This is what these platforms sell. Okay, what is that ominous prophecy? What does that even mean? It's ominous is like a dark. It's something that's framing a dark picture. It's framing, prophecy is something look to the future. So she's saying Reese Witherspoon is sharing a dark outlook on what's to come. Okay, so what is that dark outlook? And this is Reese Witherspoon saying, in the near future, every person will have a parallel digital identity. Avatars, crypto wallets, digital goods will be the norm. Are you planning for this? So this reporter, the staff writer here, is declaring that quote as an ominous prophecy. You're gonna have a parallel digital identity, right? You're gonna have avatars, crypto wallets, digital goods, and those will be the norm. Now, I'm not really following how that's an ominous prophecy. I mean, that's exactly what we have now. I mean, maybe most people don't have avatars right now, but you definitely on social media, right? You definitely have a parallel digital identity. Right? With crypto, that identity is actually backed up by the blockchain. But let's just stick to the quote here, right? Crypto wallets. Okay, so you now have wallets. Your credit cards are saved online, right? The information. Digital goods will be the norm. Oh my God, we actually buy goods online. So I'm not seeing the ominous part of this prophecy. It's pretty organic. And it just makes sense. I've been in the space. Maybe I'm colored by it. So maybe I already have a bias towards it, and things that may sound neutral to somebody else rub me the wrong way. So I'm going to put that in there. That is possible. But there's nothing ominous about this statement. This is the truth. We already have parallel digital identity. We already have online wallets. While they may not be crypto wallets, for many now, still have online wallets. We still have digital goods, right? And if crypto and the technology behind it becomes as advanced or as prevalent as it's looking to be, then this is not ominous at all. There's nothing dark about this. Even if this is the case, there's nothing dark about it. So to spin that in a negative way, that just blows me away. All right, and so look, celebrities have taken to pushing cryptocurrency and non-fungible tokens, NFTs, at a speed once reserved for viral dance trends. So again, it's just condescending tone, right? So you got celebrities, you've got cryptocurrencies and NFTs, and now we're lumping them in and comparing them to viral dance trends. Just not. This is not an informed opinion by any means. Okay, really, we're just looking at what are celebrities doing. I don't think that. I don't know if this is something that's been her opinion for other things. That celebrities may have endorsed or backed or believe. Is it a celebrity thing? Is it crypto, or is it both? I don't know. But you're lumping. You're kind of saying celebrities and cryptocurrencies, including NFTs, are the same as viral dance trends. Like, it's just nonsense. That's the comparison there, right? The artists insist our real world will soon resemble the fictional sort they've spent careers envisioning. So I guess kind of like the metaverse, which has been, which is known to be more and more involved in our worlds. Kind of like, I guess, like a Zoom meeting, which is, fictional, which would have been deemed fictional before, that we would be speaking more online versus physically. Maybe that's what she means too. Who knows? But that is the case, right? It has been said, after all, that NFTs could transform the very concept of art. And here she goes, the uncertainty there is key. Okay, so look, there's nothing that's 100%. The fact that things are already invading the art world through NFTs. The possibilities of the art are endless. And that's just with art. You're just scratching the surface of NFTs. But to say there's uncertainty there is key. I mean, the uncertainty in anything, the uncertainty in this article should be key. Let me put it that way. All right, this is not 100%. These are facts. It's not the case. Goes on to say NFTs exist in a volatile market. I don't know, kind of like the stock market, maybe, right? Where you have special purpose acquisitions, SPACs, companies out there, who've been down, and other companies who've been down, 40, 50, 60, 70, some maybe 80% from where they were at their all-time highs. Kind of like that. Pretty volatile market, right? And she says it's a trademark characteristic of crypto investments. So I agree with this. I agree with there's volatility in the crypto markets. 100%. That is a fact. But that is a fact of any asset that is young. That's a fact, when you look at the real estate crash, right? The market crashed in 2008 and 9, right? The stock market, and then followed by the real estate market. If you look at what happened during 2020, right? How it crashed, markets crashed, came back up, went to an all-time highs, escalating just crazy to levels that were unsustainable and, were not favorable for a long-term market. And how they, not only did they correct, but they crashed right back down to lower lows since before 2020. So the volatility is there in every market, right? The volatility is going to be there for crypto because it is a new space. But volatility is the price to be paid for generating wealth, life-changing wealth. It really is. So everyone kind of wants a market that just goes up, 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 up. That's not how it works. That's not how most people make their wealth. That's not how the wealthiest have made their wealth. They've gotten in on assets that were extremely low and then boomed. That's a volatile market. And those who get in and kind of hold it out, they prosper. They prosper. So that's not, it doesn't mean you hold everything. Doesn't mean you buy everything. Doesn't mean every NFT is viable or valid. But this whole statement right here can apply to everything, right? The uncertainty is key. The markets are volatile. Okay, great. It's a nascent market. Fine, right? But we're not going to pretend like just because something is volatile, just because something has uncertainty around it, it's not valid. So I don't like that part of it, right? And you know, unfortunately, I'm not. It seems like every paragraph I have to jump in on, right? Because here she goes on here. Wealthier celebrities have little to lose, so forget reputation, right? Forget the fact that they may have invested way more money than the average Joe. And so if what they believe in and what they're saying is wrong, they will lose considerable amounts. It's possible, right? So now the price of Bitcoin is surely a small fraction of what Damon took home. She's referring to Matt Damon's commercial of Crypto.com, where he's endorsing Crypto.com, and she's, you know, placing crypto investors on a pedestal beside the Wright brothers. You know, but influential figures attaching their names and finances in some cases, right? And it just forms, you know, implications beyond their own padded wallets. Again, this is wordplay again, right? So you padded wallets, you know, celebrities, padded wallets, not the average Joe, right? Physical or digital. But hey, look, respect. There are certain people out there who are going to use their influence to gain more monetary value through endorsements, and maybe they don't believe in what's underlying. But again, just because they're celebrities, just because they're promoting something, doesn't necessarily mean that they don't actually believe in what they're saying. So I want to say that. So now she's talking to those, and maybe many of you, for those unfamiliar with cryptocurrency, right? So this statement right here, she's highlighting that she knows and understands cryptocurrency. So I'm not sure if that's the case or not based on what I've read so far. Okay, so she wants to pause and she wants to kind of tell us what cryptocurrency is, and she's going to sum it up here in a sentence. So it's most simply defined as a digital currency that operates outside of government and traditional banking control by instead using public ledgers known as blockchains. Okay, broad, vague, but when you lump that in with the rest of the tone of this article, you know, when you say it's operating outside of government and traditional banking, again, maybe I'm colored by bias, and reading this article has really highlighted that bias within myself. But you're really playing on the fact that it's operating outside of a government traditional banking, so it's something that you should be concerned about because it's not within the confines of the government and your traditional banking system, which, by the way, has led us down numerous times, which, by the way, has printed more money than ever before. So this is the same system that it's operating outside of. So while she may be saying this is a negative, this is a positive, right? Yes, it is a digital. Now, not all cryptocurrency is not all crypto assets are a currency. Okay, that's not what they're there for. They have utility behind it. They have the projects behind it. Their tokens, you know, that are promoting these projects or are part of these projects have value in them. So they're not. So it's not currency like the US dollar or anything like that for the most part, right? That is what people have reserved really for Bitcoin more than for anything else. But even Bitcoin is a store of value. It's more for gold than it would be for the US dollar. So some nuance there, but okay. Let's say, you know, I'm going to be completely neutral. This could fly. This could fly, right? As long as you don't color this as a negative outside of government and traditional banking. And but here, for someone who doesn't know this whole paragraph, who's supposed to make someone aware of what cryptocurrency is, and saying public ledgers known as blockchains, doesn't explain what a blockchain is, which is what cryptocurrency is. So if you're not gonna highlight the underlying technology that the whole system is based on, so you didn't tell anybody what cryptocurrency is. So that's my thought on that one. All right, here we go. On and on we go. So look, the same person. So here she's saying it can seem an intriguing mode of investment, but a dicey one too. Okay, there's volatility, fine. But that's the same thing goes with if you're in the stock market. It's dicey. Yes, the average returns of the S&P may be 10 or 12%, somewhere in there. But that's if you stay the course, right? Over 10, 20, 15, 20 years. That doesn't mean there's no volatility in between. If you've been in Bitcoin since 2009, 2010, you haven't lost money if all you did is buy then and hold. It's actually been more stable and has had the most gains than any other market over the last 10, 11 years. So let's cut the dicey one out. It just depends on what you're talking about. Which asset is she talking about within the crypto space? Okay, so she's gonna quote Paul Krugman. Okay, so he's a economist here that he won the Nobel Prize, and she's gonna use him now as a reference to really support her statement and her outlook on crypto. And he's referred to cryptocurrency as a giant bubble, and he likened it to some prime mortgage crisis, all the issues that happened in 2008. And because of growing evidence that the risks of crypto are falling disproportionately on people who don't know what they are getting into and are poorly positioned to handle the downside. Okay? So look, again, this is framed as we're trying to be here for the average Joe. That's what everything is. There's celebrities up here, and there's the average Joe down here, and this staff writer and anyone else who's being quoted is here to help the average Joe see that celebrities and others don't have their best interest at heart. And I'm fine with thinking they don't have your best interest at heart. I'm also fine with Paul Krugman and the staff writer not having your best interest at heart, because this is not an educated conversation. All right? And why do I say that? The same very Paul Krugman, right? Winner of the Nobel Prize. Probably not the best person you should be quoting, especially when it comes to a new technology that has the ability to change the entire game and is currently doing so, right? Why do I say that? Because this same very Paul Krugman, you guys can look this up, wrote something in 1998 which had to do with the internet. Okay, so if you guys don't know, the internet was looked at as a highly speculative, highly niche play that, again, celebrities or people with money play around with, but it's not for the average Joe and it's not going to survive. All right. So let's see where he says. So here's his prediction right here. Or here's his quote he wrote. The growth of the internet will slow drastically as the flaw in Metcalfe's law. We're not going to get into what the law is. And he says most people have nothing to say to each other. By 2005, so again, remember, this is 1998. So in 7 years, by 2005 or so, it will become clear that the internet's impact on the economy has been no greater than the fax machine. The fax machines. Let that sink in. So the same economist that she is quoting about crypto and its lack of viability as a technology play, as an asset play going forward, the same person said that the internet will have zero to little impact based on comparing it to the fax machine. Let that sink in. It's the exact same person. Exact same person. All right. So, but you're not going to get that side of it. This is a negative spin towards cryptos. She's going to use him because he's got a Nobel Prize, and it carries weight. But when you realize that that same person discredited the internet and said it wasn't really going to do much for us, we kind of see how that played out, right? So it goes into a bunch of other things. Let's see what else we have here. Okay. So here, Damon is in here. She's going on about the crypto.com commercial with Matt Damon. She's like, Damon is a storyteller by trade. His job in many ways is to sell ideas to the public. But many consider it ludicrous and unsettling for a man with such deep pockets. So again, we're separating celebrities and the average Joe, and here it is. We're trying to save the average Joe by writing this article, right? With such deep pockets to place himself on an even playing field with the average viewer. He says something like mere mortals just like you and me. So before encouraging them to direct their money towards what his grandiose calls for courage imply is a risky investment. So first of all, every investment is a risky investment. Everything. We're going to go back to her terminology of uncertainty. any investment there is always a portion of uncertainty, right? Cryptos are volatile, yes. If you're in it for the long game and you're in the blue chip assets or the assets that are tried, tested, and true, you have less risk involved than if you were to do something else. Same thing if you're in the stock market. If you go into a SPAC or into some other newly traded company, it's more risky than going into a Coca-Cola or going into some other, or an Amazon or something like that. And which Amazon and all those technology plays were also looked at as very speculative and very risky during the dot-com bubble, right? So that played out a little bit differently in the long run. So again, I'm going to separate Matt Damon, the actor, and Matt Damon, the person. So while he's being used because of his stature as an actor, and it carries weight and it's an endorsement, you have to do your own research. That's what I preach on this channel. You always have to do your own research. So when you read this article, this is a part of your research. Sure, read it, right? Get that thought in your mind. Hey, maybe this is something that is just pushed or peddled, as she states, by celebrities. Okay, great. Read another article. Read a bunch of articles. Read the underlying technology. Read the Bitcoin white paper, right? And see what we're talking about here, and not relying on a crypto.com ad. If you are going to invest based on an ad, then you're in a world of trouble. It doesn't matter what asset what you are investing in. Okay. So now she goes on to talk about South Park. South Park did a little skit or a little piece in their cartoon about Matt Damon. And look, I don't think anyone's ever used South Park as a reference to support what is viable and what is not. Right? I don't think that is something that people use in debates to say pro anything or against anything is what shows up on South Park. So I'm just going to cut that out because, yeah, I mean, that's fine. They made a joke about it. Okay. And big deal. Do your own research. Okay. So let's see. Yeah. Kim Kardashian and Floyd Mayweather as well. They've been sued over accusations that they misled investors. So I'm not too familiar with what they promoted. It's something called Ethereum Max. And I'm not sure what exactly that project is. But if they were promoting it and it was what they call a rug pull, or meaning, you invest in it, anyone who's already before you kind of cashes out and you're left holding the tokens and they're worth nothing. I mean, if that is the case, then that's terrible and that's horrendous. Whether that's Kim Kardashian or whether that's a founder of a project, whether that's Floyd Mayweather, if that's an average Joe who's doing that, it's never right. I don't care who it is. Now, obviously, being a celebrity, you have influence, you have followers, so you have to be more responsible. So 100%, if that is the case that happened in there, then I don't care if it's Ethereum Max or any other project, and I don't care which celebrity it is, sports, actor, actress, it doesn't matter. If you have influence, even if you have influence over 5 people and you do this, shame on you. That should not happen. But do your own research. Okay? So what's funny is she's kind of laid out where being an actor, being a celebrity, kind of doesn't carry any weight when it comes to promoting crypto, right? I mean, maybe her sense is, more broad. That doesn't carry much weight when they endorse anything, right? So we have this whole celebrity versus average Joe. But in the same article, we are referencing other actors who are against crypto. So maybe I'm not quite catching that, right? Understanding that. But if you're going to use actors and actresses that their opinions on an asset don't mean anything because they're actors and actresses, but then you use another actor as support for your argument, then I don't really see. So why should I buy that this Ben McKenzie knows crypto, but Matt Damon and Gwyneth Paltrow and the rest don't? I mean, they're actors, right? And this guy goes on to say, what else did he say? Highly volatile, speculative market, so different than gambling in the world's most fraudulent casino. Like, just again, somebody else who is not informed on the space and the technology. Yes, there are fraudulent aspects to the market, just like the stock market, just like real estate, just like any investment or any market. There's always bad actors. There's always bad investors. There's always investors who are trying to manipulate the market. Always. Same with founders, right? But you don't label that to the entire asset class. So someone who's just, hey, I don't know. Maybe they have their own agenda. So oh, well, I guess he's, hold on. Yeah, the same Mackenzie, this actor, is collaborating on a book about cryptocurrency. Hey, nice plug for his book in this article, right? He must not have anything else besides what he's saying as well, behind what he's saying. So look, skeptics may wonder whether celebrity marketing carries weight in this arena. Experts say it does. Okay, like, just who are the experts? It's just a vague term you can say to anybody. Like, anyways, this is all part of the same frame, same tone for the article. Yeah, at least she's consistent. I'll give her that. Right, talking about Tom Brady going from NFL to NFTs, and all kinds of stuff. So if that's where they believe in, if they understand the underlying fundamentals, if they think there's something in it for the long term and they promote it, kudos to them. But just because they're celebrities and they promote something, I'm not going to say they don't understand it. That's not what I'm going to do. Right? So now we've got a marketing professor, right? He's also a founder of an advertising agency looking into possible applications of the blockchain. So he's not on the blockchain. He's not involved with the blockchain at any point now. And he's a marketing professor. Right, so he's highlighting the values of the NFTs. Okay, and here's, so I don't know if this is an expert. This is the type of expert she talks to. Someone who's a marketing expert but not a blockchain expert. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's what's happening. There's no expert that's being referenced that actually has understanding of the underlying technology. None whatsoever. Okay, so here again, when I talk about wordplay, musical artists looking to skirt third-party ticketing platforms could seize upon this decentralized system, according to Beckman. Okay, so she's referencing a marketing professor as an expert using her word of saying skirt, meaning trying to get around. And usually when you're saying skirt, you're not saying it in a favorable fashion. You're just saying someone's trying to avoid doing what is proper. You're skirting the system. You're skirting the third-party ticketing platform. And need I remind everybody that the musical artists, or most artists, period, are the ones that take home the least amount of money in the system as it is today. The labels, everyone around them, they're taking all of that revenue that's coming from those artists, and they're taking it away from those very same artists. So while being a starving artist is highly romanticized, that's not what they want to do. And NFTs actually give them the ability to earn from their own creations and earn a sizable amount from it. So they're looking to skirt a system that's screwing them over. So I'll give her that much. I'll give her that. Okay, so we go on here. So this is, her Gwyneth Paltrow's Bored Ape NFT that she highlighted. Going on, just very condescending tone about her appearance on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and it's awkward, and yeah, okay, that's fine. Same tone, right? The NFTs don't have any value. Okay, blah, 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 we're going on. So here she goes. While the motivation behind purchasing NFT artwork could be likened to what fuels any art collector, who determines artistic worth anyway, that's a valid point, right? It's not her, it's not an expert, it's not anybody, it's the market. It's the market that dictates the value. The reality of the digital purchase often summons eye rolls over eagerness. Who's doing the eye rolling? Right? And then it's also worth noting that NFTs have a sizable carbon footprint. Come on, you're not doing the research. If you're talking about Ethereum, the platform, and what it takes to run the blockchain and run, process transactions on the blockchain and where the energy is coming from and all that kind of stuff, do your own research. That's all I gotta say. That's like a whole video of its own. But to say that NFTs with their sizable carbon footprint is causing such an issue, like, do your own research. That's all I gotta say on that one. Okay. Let's see. She goes on. Okay. So now she's talking about Reese Witherspoon, and she's like, crypto is here to stay. I'm committed to supporting creators who have pioneered the NFT space and encouraging more women to be part of the conversation. And the staff writer here was saying that Reese Witherspoon is really pushing hard and shoehorning NFT promotion into the feminist narrative. There's nothing wrong with this sentence. Crypto is here to stay. 100% agree. Do your own research. Understand the technology. She's committed to supporting creators who have pioneered the NFT space. She's an artist, right? She's an actor. She's an artist. Nothing wrong with that. And she's encouraging more women to be part of the conversation. I don't see anything wrong with that whatsoever. Okay? There needs to be more women across the board for most things, especially within the crypto space. Different perspective, different opinions, different mindset, and adding with their creativity. I don't see that as being a problem here. It's not pushing anything with that statement. Okay? So, look, and she goes on about Kanye stuff and all that. Like, look, here's where I want to really finish off. This is where I really finish off with almost all of my videos, which has been do your own research. Do not get caught up in looking at hype, whether it's positive hype and negative hype. Those are things you read. Those are things you can like glance at to catch, hey, maybe I need to look into this. Let me dive into NFTs. What's around NFTs? Why are they talked about so highly? Not just, well, celebrities are pushing it, so it must be garbage. Well, celebrities have a Bored Ape Yacht Club and this and that, so it's just for the rich. Like, there is true value here. There are people, there are students, there are kids, there are people in third world countries who cannot earn a living, who are earning money and putting food on the table by being involved not only in cryptocurrency but NFT market. And this is not just a hype train, but it's a market. It's a real asset where it really is changing so many people's lives for the better, and the community's built in the space. But you won't know that if you just read this headline and you read this article. You won't know the technology and the use cases and everything that comes with it. And how NFTs, while it is art today, is just scratching the surface of what it would be tomorrow. Do your own research. That's all I can say. And don't succumb to these types of articles that are just gonna just talk superficially and kind of pitch you against, the underlying technology and the underlying space. Okay, it's very long. I know. I apologize for the long video, but I just felt so strongly about this article. Okay, guys, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.